pull up a chair, you're sitting cage side. Today, we're going to break down 2 fight nights. We're going to go over Medic versus Daniel Rodriguez, as well as Quillan Salkilld versus Mateusz Gamrot. Thomas is out of town. I had a guest come in to town, so we both got pretty busy, so weren't able to film anything or edit anything. He's still out of town currently, but he'll be back soon, and the next couple of videos you see should be back with both of us. But yeah, today's just me. So we're gonna, like I said, we're not gonna spend too much time on this fight night, but let's go ahead and get started. This was a week ago, so bear with me here. Next fight, we got Mateusz Rebecki versus Kyle Prepolek. Prepolek, excuse me. This was, I mean, it was really all Mateusz. Like, I mean, you can just tell with the fucking numbers. 132 strikes to 11. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them were ground strikes. If I'm not mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Mateusz rocked him on the feet and then, or at least clipped him. Maybe not full blown rocked him, but and then took him down and just fucking ground and pound. You know, really not much more than that. Great performance by Mateusz Rebecki. And yeah, we'll go ahead and move on. I don't remember. Let me see. I don't know how Thomas did on picks. I actually should be able to check. So let's take an intermission here. So he had 6 out of 8 on the prelims and 4 out of 6 on the main card. So we use a verdict, and the Rebecki versus Prepolek fight I just went over was not on that app when we were making our picks. So we both didn't end up making that pick, so that obviously counts as wrong. But so I guess we both didn't pick that fight. But he got the first round KO of Milicevic, correct? And he said Leka by round 2 KO. And he said Luciano by decision. Yeah. And then I went 5 out of 8 on the prelims and 4 out of 6 on the main card. So let's go ahead and move on. Denis Bazooka versus Bogdan Grad. This was a beautiful performance by Bogdan Grad. On the feed, it was very close. Bogdan Grad kind of got clipped a couple times, and it definitely looked like Denis Bazooka could have got him out of there. Like, I was nervous watching this fight. I like Bogdan Grad. I think Thomas and I had both picked him, and we wanted him to win. And so I was a little nervous, kind of towards the second round, but he had a beautiful performance. Like I said, it was very close on the feet. I do think Bogdan was kind of coming out on top on the feet, but I do think when Bazooka would land, it was heavy, and it Bogdan could definitely feel it. But on the ground, it was nuts. Truthfully, like there was no. I can't think of the word. there was no friction on the ground, you know what I mean? Like as soon as it got to the ground, Bogdan could pretty much do whatever he wanted. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to harp on it too much, but beautiful performance by Bogdan Grad. I'm really excited to see where he goes in the featherweight division. I think he's a fun contender. And yeah, we'll go ahead and move on. Alrighty, so next up we got Borislav Nikolic versus Mark Volodin. Volodin, something like that. This was a great fight, though. Very good fight. You know, I think Mark Volodin is very, very, very tough, and I do think he's going to be good in the bantamweight division. or at least a fun contender, a fun, you know, kind of gatekeeper, something like that. I like him in the UFC personally, but very, very, very good performance by Borislav Nikolic. Just, I mean, obviously looking at the numbers, he was pretty much ahead on everything besides takedowns. You know, takedowns aren't really doing damage, so I think that kind of tells the story. I will say I don't remember too many memorable moments from this fight, but I do remember enjoying this fight. It was very back and forth. It was a good scrap. Just with a card full of fucking 12 out of 14 fights being a finish. You know, that's, you kind of forget, and it was also a week ago. All right, next up we got Oban Elliott versus Michael Oliveira. Holy fuck, this man has power. Yeah, there's really nothing else about it. Really crisp striking, heavy fucking power. I like Oban Elliott, but just, yeah, I mean, he didn't stand a chance. He did not stand a chance. So, yep, that's about it. We're just gonna move on. Fun. I do think he's a fun contender in the welterweight division for sure. Welterweight is incredibly stacked right now, and it's very, very enjoyable. But yeah, our last fight on the prelims, we have Ludovic Klein versus Tofik Musayev. It was a good fight. I think Musayev has some really decent power in his hands. But I will say I'm kind of sad he won. I think he's a cheating fuck from his last fight. And just would have liked to have seen him get knocked the fuck out, because I think he's a cheating fuck, and I don't really think he should have won the last fight. But, you know, it is what it is. So we're just going to move on. All right, next up we got Milos Jancic versus Noah Gugnan. Great performance by Noah. Landed a couple strikes on the feet. It was very, very early, not too much. Landed a really good leg kick, a couple of really good leg kicks. If I'm not mistaken, I think it hit the perennial nerve of Jancic, and he couldn't really stand, couldn't really walk. And he was trying, you know what I mean? He was trying to fight. He wasn't giving up. But, Noah, in that moment, Noah seeing that, instead of just kicking his leg or teeing off or doing whatever, he decides to take him down and submit him immediately, which is definitely a statement. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't want to win that way. That's not a cheap way to win because you landed the fucking strike, but whatever. Still very cool. Very good performance by Noah Gugnan. I think he's gonna be fun in this division. I don't know how far he goes, to be honest with you, but he seems very, very skilled. So I'm interested. I think the UFC is getting a lot of really good prospects recently, and it's like, I know every fighter Thomas and I mention, or I'm mentioning, I'm always like, oh, I can't wait to see them in this division. And it's like, I don't know, it's true though. Like I think, we went through a dry spell not too long ago, and so just kind of getting out of it and actually being out of it for a good 6 months pretty much, and just really, I don't know, really seeing all these contenders, and like seeing, the likes of Prates and other contenders like that come in and rise up the rankings very quick, like Quillen, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that. It's really exciting. So I'm very excited to see him in the lightweight division. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to Vlasto Jeppo, I think, Jeppo versus Gilbert Urbina. Gilbert Urbina put on a fucking clinic. I mean, just came out very heavy-handed, a lot of pressure, and just was throwing. I mean, 7 to 36 total strikes, 7 to 30 significant strikes. Like, That's nuts. Knocked him out in a minute and 1 second. There's not much else to add. Great performance by Gilbert Urbina. Next up, we got Dusko Todorovic versus Robert Valentin. Great performance by Robert Valentin. He did get taken down. He was able to get taken down, but when he was on the ground, it was pretty much him. You know what I mean? He got the sub in round 1 and was pretty much controlling everything on the ground. I liked their post-fight press conference in the cage, or the post-fight interview, but I don't remember too much of the fight, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Next up, we got Alexander Rakic versus Marcin Tybura. What do I say? I don't want to say I'm impressed by Rakic at all. Like, at all. I don't think that was an impressive performance. I think it's impressive that he won, you know what I mean, because of the skid that he was on. I think it's good for him to finally get a win, especially in the heavyweight division. I do like him in heavyweight. I think he's big enough for heavyweight. He's quick enough, and he's technical enough. You know what I mean? He's good, and I think he does well in the heavyweight division. I don't know if he's top 5 necessarily. But I think he does very well in the heavyweight division, but I am not impressed by that performance at all. No fucking gas tank, didn't want to throw. And I mean, I get he's a heavyweight. You know, I know that extra weight put on definitely changes things and definitely changes the way you fight and you strike, but I don't know. I personally was not too impressed. But yeah, good win, at least, by Alexander Rakic, making his debut in the heavyweight division. So I'll be curious who they give him next. Marcin Tybura was ranked 12th. So Alexander Rakic will now be ranked, is ranked. So I'll be curious to see who they give him. Maybe a Jamal Hill, low key, because they never fought. That'd be interesting in the heavyweight division. It doesn't tell us too much, so I don't think next, but I think that fight would be decent. Anyway, let's move on to Jan Blachowicz versus Navajo Sterling. I picked Jan. I thought we were gonna get an old Jan Crafty Man robbery decision, and I was fucking so wrong. And Thomas and I were talking about it, and I texted him that, and I was like, we were texting back and forth, and he was like, why'd you pick Jan or something like that? Because I think he picked Navajo, and I picked Navajo in his last like 2 or 3 fights. I just thought it was a pretty big step up fairly quickly after he had just fought, not just fought, but fought not too long ago, and Jan's good. Like he had a draw with Onk, fucking boring man Onk, not too long ago, within the last couple of years. And, I thought that would kind of play into it a bit more. And then as I'm telling Thomas this and texting Thomas, he says, agreeing with me. Like he was just reinforcing my point, but he says, and he also had a draw with Guskov. And as he sent that text and I read it, I didn't think he was kind of supporting what I was saying. I thought he was like, well, he also had a draw with fucking Guskov. And so obviously that's how I read it, texted him back and like that. And I was like, yeah, you're so fucking right. Like I should have looked into that. I mean, it was, I don't know. Kind of a bad pick by me. It's also sad. I wanted to see Jan stick around a little bit more, but Navajo is a very entertaining prospect. a lot of good performances. This knockout was very nice. His last performance was very good. So I'm really excited to see him in light heavyweight. I think he's somehow has more fucking personality than Olberg. I think he's more entertaining than Olberg. So let's get him in there and have the fucking teammates slime each other out. So fuck it. But yeah, great performance by Navajo Sterling. Anyway, let's move on to the main event of the night, and then we will get off this card. Spent probably more time than I wanted to on this card, but whatever. Uros Medic versus Daniel Rodriguez. There's absolutely nothing to talk about. This was a complete fucking mismatch. It shouldn't have been fucking D-Rod. It should have been Leon. I get it because they were both on win streaks, but it should not have been D-Rod. Bro can't fucking throw a punch. I'm sorry. Him beating Kevin Holland pissed me off. Run that fight back, because Holland's calling for that. Run that fucking fight back. Holland gets that dub, and I want that. I want that dub back for him. Anyway, 30 fucking second knockout. Came out, throws like, what? A fucking left hand straight, left hook, fucking knee, soccer kick. Something like that. And then that was it. That was the whole fight. I don't want to say it was a bad stoppage, because it wasn't a bad stoppage. I just want the fight. I just wanted the fight to go on longer. You know what I mean? But yeah, great. I mean, great knockout by Uros Medic. Like I don't want to take anything away from him. He's a very entertaining style. You know, it's knockout or be knocked out, and I think, you know, you can't be upset at that. That's a fun style. So I think you give him Leon next for sure, and then maybe a JDM or a Bilal, a Bonfim, something like that. You know what I mean? I do like that he's calling Prates out, because I do think that's a fun fight. But I mean, obviously not deserving of that fight right now. I don't even think he's deserving of fighting Morales right now. And I don't think Morales is deserving of being the backup fighter. I think that's fucking horseshit, but whatever. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. Great performance by Uros Medic. Really good fight night. I watched most of it. I was out doing stuff as I had a guest in town. But yeah, very good card. I hope they go back to Serbia. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the most recent card and the main. Oh my god. The main point of this video. Gamrot versus Salkilld. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Bro did him like Charles. We'll get to it. God damn. Alrighty. I think I went like 12. Whoa. How many fights were on this card? I think there were 12. Yeah. I went like, what? I went 7 out of 7 on prelims. Or I'm sorry. I went 6 out of 7 on prelims and 2 out of 5 on the main card. I didn't do great on the main card. I picked Lemos, Ferreira, or I'm sorry, Quarantillo, and low-key, I picked Gamrot by third round sub. All right. Look, I wanted Quillen to win. I fuck with Quillen, but I was like, this is a tough test. I think maybe he gets submitted and he doesn't get knocked out, so he comes back quickly and can rebound very quick and learn a lot. That was what I was thinking. I'm sorry. I will never doubt you again, Quillen. I apologize. I should have gone for fucking knockout. Even though it wasn't a knockout, but still. I should have picked Salkilld. Anyway. What did Thomas do? Thomas got... Oh my god. Fucker went 5 out of 5 on the main card. 4 out of 7 on the prelims. Holy hell. You did better than me. Attaboy, Thomas. I will tell you this before we move on. He was texting me, so he had really shit Wi-Fi. So I was texting him who won about the main event and how, which kind of sucks because that would have been really, that's exciting to see. It's a rip that he wasn't able to see that. But I showed him, or I was texting him, and he's in line at a pizza place, and bro legitimately just like jumped up and down and started screaming in the middle of the fucking pizza place. So that's pretty funny. He wanted me to share that. I probably was gonna share it either way. So what the fuck? Multi-billion-dollar company? Are we fucking for real? What the? Hello? All right. Well. Anyway, let's get it started. So first we had a Gigi. Fuck me. Gigi Canuto. I don't know why I'm struggling. Versus Carol Foro. Yeah, I'm not much to talk about here. You know, Carol Foro pulled out the unanimous decision. And, yep, that's about it. We're going to move on. Anyway, we got Juliana Miller versus Ravina Oliveira. Low-key thought it was going to be another decision, but very good sub by Juliana Miller. Pretty much controlled most of the ground. But, yeah, I mean, again, not too much to go over, and I would be talking a bit more about him if this shit wasn't doing this, because then I'd have at least somewhat of an idea. This is the hard thing about not doing an immediate reaction. So fuck me, why did I do that? So gonna try to get in the habit of doing immediate reactions. But anyway, so let's move on. We got Miles Johns versus Gianni Vasquez. Holy fuck. So this was another fight that didn't pop up on Verdict, and then I went to go look at the picks, and then it was there, and I was like, oh fuck. So it was more so a quick pick, you know what I mean? And so I picked Miles Johns by decision, but holy fuck, that man has power in his hands. He was very, very patient, a lot of power in his hands, and, you know, got rocked and recovered well, and it was literally, I know I'm not the first person to make this joke, but a call an ambulance, but not for me. Ass knockout. So very good knockout by Miles Johns. Nice recovery. I don't know if it's just me, but that motherfucker looked small as hell for a featherweight. I low-key thought he was a flyweight or a bantamweight. I don't know if it's just me, just what I remember, but he looked shorter. Anyway, let's move on. Got Manuel Souza versus Richie Miranda. Manuel Souza edges out the unanimous decision. Great performance by Manuel Souza. It was back and forth. Like it was a back and forth fight. It's not like Souza shut him out or anything. But it was a good performance by him. I would like to see a little bit more activity and, you know, maybe work on his cardio a little bit and just his technicality a little bit better, or a little bit more. But yeah, you know, great performance, great win for Manuel Souza. So, and that motherfucker looks big as hell for a lightweight. So anyway, move on. We got Luis Sutherland versus Jose Montana. I don't remember what Thomas picked. I think he picked Louis Sutherland. I'm not confident. I did. I didn't know much about Jose Montana, and clearly, if I did, I would have fucking picked him by sub. But I didn't, so that's a rip. Anyway, great performance by Jose. I mean, just immediately took Louis down and submitted him. There's really nothing else to say about it. It was a very good performance and pretty much just had his way. Pretty much had his way whenever he wanted. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and move on. We got Diar Nurgoze versus Bruno Lopez. I low-key don't remember how this went, but it was a pretty fucking devastating knockout, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why I can't remember this. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Diar's got some got some power in his hands for sure, and he kind of reminds me of a Fedor, just a little bit. But I like his fighting style. Great performance, great first round knockout with literally 1 fucking second remaining. So that's dope. But yeah, I'm excited to see him in the light heavyweight division. It feels like we're kind of getting some good prospects in light heavyweight. It feels like that was a little bland, especially with Pereira leaving and some other fighters. But even then, realistically, it was just like Yuri Yonk and Pereira. Like, don't get me wrong, Khalil's fun and Jamal Hill was fun, but it's like I don't think they're championship level per se. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying these guys are, but at least there's more contenders. Anyway, let's move on. Steven Aspinall versus Guilherme Pat. I picked Steven Aspinall by 3rd round TKO, and he almost had it. Those short elbows were so fucking beautiful. Those short elbows were so goddamn nice by Steven Aspinall. I really like Aspinall, man. I love his fucking story. He's funny as fuck, calling BC out on fucking his cheap ass Walmart suits. Love it. You know what I mean? Like, no, he's funny as hell. And he backs it up, man. He doesn't shit talk too much. Like, he does, but it's not some ridiculous like Colby shit talk. You know what I mean? It's entertaining. It's good. I really like Steven Aspinall. I thought it was a really good performance. The only thing, both of them need to work on their cardio. I want to see Steven Aspinall with a bit more cardio. I thought he did good with his cardio in previous fights. If I'm not, unless I'm fucking tweaking, but like, I don't know. I'd like to see him. I mean, he did good on the ground too. Like, he can actually wrestle, and I think if he could work on his cardio more, I think he's fucking good, man. I think he's definitely a top 10 contender in the heavyweight division. Like, he's got really crisp boxing. If he can get that cardio and wrestling under control, he will have good wrestling because he will have good wrestling because he has that weight, and he's heavy. I don't know, man. I really like Steven Aspinall. I'm really excited to see where he goes. I think he called out Jamal Hill or something like that. I don't know. I fuck with it. I love that he's saying, put any one of these fat bucks in front of me. I love it. He's willing to fight anybody. Doesn't give a fuck. Just wants to go in there and fight. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have much else to say, man. I really enjoy watching Steven Aspinall, and I'm really excited to see where he goes. Great fight, great performance. Just definitely felt like a heavyweight fight at times, but I think both of them can work on that because fucking Guilherme Pat had an insane speed advantage, and Steven Aspinall ate some fucking shots. Like, he got hit. Like, it was not. Even with it being a unanimous decision, it was not like he didn't dog walk him. You know what I mean? It was close. Like, Pat definitely could have won that fight. It wasn't unwinnable. But yeah, I think Steven Aspinall's got a chin. Just want to see him work on the cardio. Both of them need to, but Steven Aspinall won, so I fuck with him more. So let's go. Let's go, Titty boy. Anyway, next fight we got Billy Ray Goff versus Ty Miller. I really like Ty Miller. I didn't pick Ty Miller. Obviously hindsight's 2020. I should have, but I don't know. I don't really know why I didn't pick him, to be honest with you. I thought Billy Ray Goff was going to be able to control him on the ground a little bit more, but Ty had great takedown defense and good scrambles and everything else, but his takedown defense definitely shined through everything else. His striking was on point, landed a couple really nice head kicks, just like slipped in there. But yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to say besides great performance by Ty Miller. Billy Ray Goff needs to fire his fucking corner. They should have thrown in the towel or done something besides telling him, just run, don't get hit, or whatever the fuck they said. Horrible fucking corner. Fire the fucking corner. Fire the coaches. I also don't fuck with the style of Billy Ray Goff at all, to be honest with you. It's like bro's just sprinting towards you with his hands down, like, come here, let me sniff your nuts. So, sorry about it. We're going to move on. We got Amanda Lemos versus Alexia Tainara. Yeah, good, it was a good performance by Alexia Tainara. I had Amanda Lemos, so I'm a little upset. But it was a good fight. Very back and forth. If I'm not mistaken, Amanda Lemos won the second round. I think Amanda Lemos dropped Alexia Tainara at one point, and I low-key thought she was going to take over, but she didn't. So, yeah, Tainara came back and knocked Lemos down and was able to control her on the ground for some of the parts, most of the parts, most of the time when they were on the ground. But yeah, good win by Alexia Tainara. Crazy looking hair though, I gotta be honest. Alrighty, next fight, we got got Darren Elkins versus Yadir Del Valle. Yadir Del Valle. First off, want to go ahead and say, happy retirement to Darren Elkins. Maybe not necessarily one of my favorite fighters or one of the most notable fighters, let alone with the damage tattooed. But, it's the end of an era. You see Dustin Poirier and you see multiple other fighters start to retire, and it's just the end of an era. So it's a little sad, but I think it was time. It was time Darren Elkins retired. So kind of sad he went out like that. I mean, a 35-second fucking knockout. Yadir Del Valle had nutty power. I mean, just what? It was a left hook, if I'm not mistaken. A left hook or a right hook, but I think it was left. But yeah, I mean, just threw it down, barely clipped him through the guard. I mean, I guess kind of above the guard because Darren Elkins' hand was low. Right on the chin and just stiffened him. I mean, immediately. His fucking toes and feet and ankles were so stiff. So great knockout, great win for Del Valle. Really excited to see where he goes. But yeah, I wish a happy retirement to Darren Elkins. Hopefully, he can manage it, because it's always difficult when fighters retire. So hopefully everything goes well for him. And I guess I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video. Maybe I'll do it at the end. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. We got Diego Ferreira versus Billy Quarantillo. It's not gonna work. I can't lie, I didn't watch too much of this fight. It was very back and forth. Good win from Diego Ferreira. Billy Quarantillo gets hit way too fucking much. Bro just walks forward, doesn't do much. And it's not that he doesn't do much. He's not moving his head. He's not moving. He's just walking forward, and he's not doing anything with it. So it wasn't too impressive on his part for me, in my opinion. But good win by Diego Ferreira. And we'll just go ahead and move on to the main event. Medic and Rodrigues versus Salkilld and Salkilld. Holy fuck, Quillen, you're the GOAT. I'm so happy Quillen won this fight, and so is Thomas. We both are. All of Cage Side is very excited. I sure as hell didn't think it was gonna happen like this. I knew Quillen's ground game was underrated, even though I picked Gamrot by sub. Shut the fuck up. But I did not think it was going to happen like that. I mean, Gamrot was worried. He was nervous on the ground in the first round. You know what I mean? Like, it just, you could say, it's the first round, they're sticky, they're not sweaty. It's like, yeah, sure, but they're also fresh. You know what I mean? And I think Quillen's got some fucking power, because I don't want to say he rocked Gamrot, but he definitely clipped him. And I do think that played into Quillen getting the sub for sure. But yeah, I mean, great performance by Quillen. I fucking cannot believe he did that in the first round. Like, bro literally did him like Charles. The only two losses the only two submission losses Mateus Gamrot has are by Quillen and Charles, the exact same way in the first round. I don't know why Charles wasn't booked against Arman. I'm not sure why Rufi versus Arman is the fight that they're making, but I mean, I think it'll be a good fight. It'll be entertaining, but still, not sure why that's the fight they're making. However, if Charles was supposed to get that fight and maybe pulled out to another reason, or for another reason, you know, give him some time, and I really think you put Charles against Quillen. I fuck with that matchup. I know it's a jump up, like, again, but I really like that matchup. If not, give him BSD. But I low-key want him to fight somebody coming off a win. I don't think you give him Patty. I think Patty versus Ilya needs to happen. Gaethje needs to find somebody to fight, and I don't know. It is tough, because, like, I do like Gaethje fighting Charles. But maybe Quillen fighting Gaethje, you know what I mean? Like, that's such an interesting fight for Gaethje to defend his belt against, you know, and then does he get it done? I don't even fucking know. I don't even want to think about that fight right now. But anyway, great performance by Quillen. That kind of sums it up. And yeah, great performance by Uros Medic, great performance by Quillen Salkilld, a great performance by everybody. Two really good cards. Even though this one was in the Apex, two pretty good cards. So, and fucking Quillen did it, baby. We love it. But I just want to take a moment to, to say rest in peace, Alan Nascimento. Take a moment of silence for him. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the last two cards. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, Thomas will be back in the next one. Hopefully, with just me, it wasn't too boring. But pack up your chairs, cage side out.